Hi everyone, I'm Erica Del Sordo. Welcome to United Country Dix Realty Real Estate Talk. Today, another one of the most important men in Columbia County. This is James Swisher, also known as the Columbia County Clerk of the Court and Comptroller. And he's going to explain what all of that is in just a moment. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Erica. It's good to be here and good to talk to your viewers today.
Thank you so much. And I'm so happy that you are part of really a three-part series with all of our government officials, if you will, just to get everyone a little bit comfortable. They're moving here. We're doing real estate talk, and I think it's very important to have the clerk of the court here as well. So talk to me about your beginnings. How did you end up in Lake City? Were you born and raised? Just go through the whole history.
I was born and raised. My family, lifelong residents of Lake City and Columbia County. So I was born in 1981, graduated high school in 2000, moved away to UF for a few years and graduated from the University of Florida. I then received my law enforcement certification and worked in law enforcement for 7 years at the Columbia County Sheriff's Office before being hired at Florida Gateway College at their Law Enforcement Academy, and eventually made the director of that program there before being elected the clerk of the court in 2000.
That's really awesome.
2020.
You know, in 2020, we're going to need those pictures of you back in law enforcement days.
Absolutely, 2004 to 2013. Those are fun times.
Wow, that does sound like fun times. That's fantastic.
Yes.
All right, so now talk to me about what is new for your office. What's happening in 2024?
Well, in 24, we've got several programs that were finally coming online. You know, these programs took several years to get off the ground, and so I'm really excited. And the first is a new fraud alert program. And I know Jeff Hampton was here last week and spoke a little bit about our fraud alert program, and I want to take a deeper dive into that. But, you know, fraud and property fraud crimes, according to the FBI, are one of the fastest growing white-collar crimes in the United States. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes, these property crimes occur when somebody comes in my office, presents a quitclaim deed that's got signatures on it, it looks authentic. That is then recorded in our official records and then forwarded to the property appraiser's office without you having any idea that a fraud has occurred.
Oh, wow.
And then, let's say 5 years from now, you decide to do something with that piece of property. Not only have you realized that that property is no longer in your name, but you realize it's been sold 2 or 3 times.
How do you catch that?
It is very hard to start an investigation when the bad guy gets a 5-year head start on you. So we've launched a new program. It's completely voluntary and it's completely free to the property owners of Columbia County. You can go to my website at columbiaclerk.com. You can follow the prompts to the property fraud alert. There's also cards being circulated around, and it's got a QR code on it. You simply scan that QR code and it'll take you directly to the registration link. You sign up to 5 names on this program. So if you want to put your name in, if you want to put your spouse's name in, your children's name in, even if you want to put your elderly parents' names in, and they're the most vulnerable victims in this whole scheme here, you can monitor their official records that are being recorded in their name. Then if you see something, within 24 to 48 hours, you're going to receive notification that something has happened and something's been recorded in your name. It's much easier to back something out.
Yes.
24 to 48 hours. It's much easier to start an investigation 24 to 48 hours than waiting 5 years down the road and realizing there's very little that can be done to save your property.
Goodness. Well, this is a great program then.
This is absolutely a great program. I encourage everybody to register for this. You know, it's only as good as the names that get registered, the people that it has to monitor, and the people that it has to communicate with. So please take advantage of that program.
Is there a cost?
It's absolutely free.
Then why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you do it? It's one more added protection. You know, this is happening down south a lot. In South Florida and in our larger metropolitan areas. But you know, I kind of live by the mantra, if it's predictable, it's preventable. So let's prepare for the hurricane that's eventually going to come our way. It does happen in Columbia County, not as widespread in the larger areas, but it's coming our way. So we need to be ready now.
Well, absolutely. I love that proactive approach. That definitely helps residents, and that's something that everyone should be signing up for. I think I'm going to head in and do that. Can you do that in person, or do you have to make a phone call? You do the QR code, and that's it.
The QR code, or go to the website website. If you want to come in, I've actually
Okay.
had people come in and I've walked them through and I've done the
Okay.
process for them. So either way, we'll
that's
help
really
you.
nice. Okay,
Absolutely.
fantastic. There's a new e-certify option. I want to discuss that because is that the same as Real ID? I know that we were discussing that with Kyle as well.
So it's a little bit differently. So with e-certify, I had to go through that Real ID process to receive this certification to be able to offer this to the citizens.
Okay.
The old way of ordering official records was to either one, come in our office and we will put a wet seal on it and give you your official certified copy of these records, or you could go online. You could order them through myfloridacounty.com,
Okay.
and they would send us notification. We would fulfill the order, put a wet stamp on it, and then mail it out to you. If you're lucky, that's a 3-day turnaround. More than likely, it's a week turnaround. With this new e-certify, though, you can have immediate access to these certified documents. I will electronically certify these the moment that you order them, and you'll have immediate access to be able to print these documents from your home.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Wow, making it very simple.
That's the goal.
That's really awesome. That is really awesome. So how about official record scanning?
So in November, we started officially scanning all of our official records. As you know, or you may not know, Columbia County, its history dates back to 1832. Now, unfortunately, our official records only date back to about 1875.
Oh.
And that's because there's been numerous fires, things have gone missing, records have been destroyed over that period of time. So my goal was to try to capture all of our valuable records that we have now from 1875 up to current, which was 1985, because everything else has been digitized up to that point. We just had a large volume of records from 1875 to 1985 that we needed to get scanned. So we're working on getting all those documents scanned. We're getting all those documents online. This is about an 18 to 24 month project, but at the end, you will have the ability to search those records all the way back. And some of these records are handwritten motions and orders and deeds, in very beautiful handwriting that you'll be able to view and search in the very near future on our website, and then get your certified copies immediately of those records.
That's
so I'm
incredible.
really excited about that.
That is exciting, making it very easy, and everyone is so warm and welcoming over at the courthouse, over at all of these official offices, and I think that's wonderful. It makes everyone feel just more comfortable here in Columbia County.
I think one of the goals, and I could say it's my office, but I think it's all of our offices, all of us constitutional officers, we kind of think alike. But the number one goal is to provide superior customer service. We're there for the customers, and so we all understand that assignment, and I think we all do a good job providing that service to the citizens.
Yes, we have a really great, our residents are pretty awesome too. I don't think we're as beaten down as, let's say, larger cities down south.
That's very true. I'm happy to be home.
Oh my goodness. So new requirements for recording documents that affect real property. Let's have that discussion.
Yeah, so this past legislative session, the House and the Senate passed some revisions to Florida Statute 695.26, and that is the requirement that whenever you're registering a deed, or you're registering a deed with our office, it needs to have witness signatures. Now, before it just needed to be a signature. But being that property fraud crime is on the rise, one of the things that the legislators did is now it's mandatory for the witness signatures to have their name legibly printed on the paper and an address provided of where they can be contacted.
Oh, good.
Again, in the event that we have to back these records out, if there's an event that there's questions about the authenticity of these victims, at least we have somebody that we can go to who said they're a witness to these records being signed, so we can follow the investigation that way. So it's a huge tool in our favor.
That's awesome. And your law enforcement background probably helps a whole lot of the proactiveness of all of this.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned before, if it's preventable, it's predictable. That is, or if it's predictable, it's preventable. I'm sorry. That is straight from my law enforcement training. Absolutely.
I like that.
So that law went into effect January 1st of this year.
Oh, okay.
If you still have documents that have already been signed and they're dated prior to January 1st, we'll still accept those documents as is, but anything after January 1, it needs to have that new requirement printed witness's name along with their address on it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's good to know.
Absolutely.
So what else is new? Is there anything else? What's special about your office or what you can do?
As I've mentioned it before, the specialness of my office is the employees that I have in the office.
That's
and
good.
I know they're all dedicated to the citizens of Columbia County, and anything that you need to have accomplished, we can help you with that. Most people think of their clerk of the court as the most as a court clerk, and that's the most visible role that we have. Is we do record. We do record court proceedings and keep track of court proceedings and what happens in court. But we also have a lot of functions that are non-court related. We're in charge of getting of issuing your marriage license. We're in charge of helping you communicate with the U.S. Department of State to get your passport. And on the Comptroller side, it's our job to pre-audit all expenditures by the Board of County Commissioners.
Oh,
so
wow.
we go through and make sure that they're legal expenditures, that they've been properly budgeted, and that the funds are properly expended. And then we pay bills on behalf of the county commissioners and with taxpayer dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about your whole job is community involvement, if you will.
Every day is something new. I know clerks that have been in this job for 20 years, and they say every day they learn something new. And
How could you not?
It's drinking out of a fire hose.
That's funny. That's so true. Yeah. I really appreciate you coming and explaining all of this.
Absolutely.
Because it's wonderful to, usually the clerk of the court is stuck in some high office somewhere. No one gets to meet them. No one knows what's going on. And so this is really wonderful for you to just, show yourself.
And I love getting out of the office. I love walking around in the courtrooms. I love meeting people, and I love seeing people. So absolutely, this fits
wonderful.
me pretty good.
You see him at Publix or somewhere, I don't know, say hi.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much for being here with me today. And
Thank
it's
you,
been
Erica.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I'll have all of the information that you need for the clerk of the court and comptroller, as well as telephone numbers, the address, anything in the About section. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Goodbye.